Disappear for 6 months. No constant posting. No explaining yourself. No chasing attention. No trying to impress everyone. And watch what happens. Some people will forget you completely. Some will become curious. Some will feel uncomfortable that they no longer have access to your life. But the biggest change will not happen around you. It will happen inside you. Because distance reveals truth. Silence reveals truth. And when you step away from constant noise, you begin seeing people, society, and yourself far more clearly. Most people are terrified of disappearing because modern life trained them to believe visibility equals value. But powerful people understand something dangerous. Constant exposure weakens you. And isolation, when used correctly, can completely transform a person. Most people are addicted to attention. Modern society rewards visibility. Post more, share more, react more, show everyone what you are doing at all times. And over time, many people become psychologically dependent on attention itself. Likes, messages, views, validation. Without it, they begin feeling invisible. This is why disappearing feels terrifying to so many people. Because silence removes external reassurance. And without constant validation, people are forced to confront themselves, their insecurity, their loneliness, their lack of purpose. Most people are not afraid of isolation. They are afraid of meeting themselves without distraction. Disappearing reveals who actually cares. The moment you stop giving people constant access to your life, everything changes. You begin seeing who only valued your attention, who only liked your visibility, who only kept you around for convenience. Because many relationships survive through constant stimulation, not genuine connection. When you disappear, some people never check on you, never reach out, never notice your absence at all. And painful as that feels, it reveals reality. Because absence exposes emotional truth faster than words ever will. People reveal their priorities through effort, not promises. Silence destroys the need for validation. At first, disappearing feels uncomfortable. Your brain craves stimulation, attention, recognition. You want to check who noticed your absence, who viewed your stories, who messaged you. But slowly, something changes. The addiction weakens. Your mind becomes quieter, more focused. You stop performing constantly for invisible audiences. And this is where real transformation begins. Because the moment you no longer emotionally depend on external validation, you become psychologically harder to control. Attention loses power over you. And people who no longer crave approval move through life very differently. Calmer, stronger, more independent. You begin seeing people clearly. Distance changes perception. When you stop constantly talking, posting, reacting, you begin observing more carefully. You notice fake friendships, forced conversations, one-sided relationships, manipulation, envy, attention-seeking behavior. You start realizing how much modern interaction is performance rather than authenticity. And once someone becomes highly observant, human behavior becomes difficult to ignore. This is why isolation often increases awareness. Because silence removes distraction. And distraction keeps most people unconscious. Most people never spend time alone with their own mind. Modern people are constantly stimulated. Music, notifications, videos, conversations, scrolling, noise. Silence has become uncomfortable because silence exposes unresolved thoughts. This is why many people cannot sit alone without immediately distracting themselves. But disappearing forces confrontation. You begin facing your fears directly, your habits, your emotional weaknesses, your lack of discipline. And while that process feels painful, it also creates growth. Because self-awareness only develops when distraction disappears. And most people spend their entire lives avoiding themselves. Real growth happens in private. The strongest transformations are usually invisible at first. Nobody sees the discipline, the isolation, the consistency, the lonely nights, the mental battles. People only notice the result later. This is why powerful individuals often move quietly. No announcements, no constant updates, no desperate need to prove progress publicly. Because real growth requires energy, and attention scatters energy. The more you broadcast every goal, the more external opinions enter your mind. But isolation protects focus. And focused people evolve faster than distracted people ever will. When you return, people treat you differently. Something strange happens after long periods of silence. People begin projecting onto you confidence, discipline, Mystery. Power. Because humans become curious about what they cannot easily access. This is why absence often increases respect. Not because silence magically creates value, but because rarity changes perception. People overlook what is constantly available, but they pay attention to what feels distant. And when someone disappears to improve themselves instead of chasing attention, their entire presence changes. Calmer, sharper, harder to read, harder to influence. Disappear for 6 months, and you will learn more about people than years of constant interaction ever could. You will see who truly values you, who only values access to you. And most importantly, you will meet yourself without distraction. Because isolation removes illusion. It exposes weakness, dependency, insecurity. But it also creates clarity, discipline, focus, inner stability. And in a world addicted to constant noise and attention, the person capable of disappearing, improving silently, and returning stronger becomes extremely rare.